Hello, this is Mrs. Brown, and today we're going to be applying our knowledge of complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles to find an unknown value. So, over here is a review. Complementary, the sum has to be 90. Supplementary, the sum is 180, and vertical angles are equal to each other. We're going to use those facts to find missing numbers. So if you look at this first example, you see this little box here. That is a 90 degrees. That indicates that it's 90 degrees, a right angle. So looking at this plus this has to be 90 because it's a complementary angle. So we know that the whole thing is 90 degrees. So the sum, we literally are going to add them together. So 2x plus x plus 45, we know has to be 90 degrees because of the right angle. So now we're going to start by combining like terms. So if I have two xylophones plus another xylophone, that's going to be 3 xylophones. Okay. And again, 2 xylophones plus another xylophone is 3 xylophones. Okay. Now I have a basic two-step equation to solve. Remember, when we're solving equations, we're doing the opposite. So we're working backwards through the order of operations, which means that we need to get rid of the plus before we do multiplication, because addition is like part of the last step of the order of operations. And we're going to use inverse, which means we're going to use the opposite operation in order to solve. So if I have 45, I spend 45, I have nothing. 90 minus 45 is 45. So I bring down what's left. 3 times mystery number gives me 45. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times x is x. And 45 divided by 3 is 15. So the mystery number is 15. I can actually use this to find the degrees. 2 times 15 is 30. So this is a 30-degree angle. And 15 plus 45 is 60 degrees. And just to make sure that they actually do work, I do 30 plus 60, and in fact, it is 90 degrees. So I did the problem correctly. Okay. So again, recognizing this is a complementary angles, that this is 90 degrees, means that this plus this has to equal 90. We can use that information to find the mystery number, which would be x in this case. So let's take a look at another example. Okay. So if we had something that looked like this, let's say this is x and this is 3x plus 20. Okay. Now, looking at this, remember that a straight line, this degree measure is 180 degrees. So therefore, I have a straight line. So this is 180 degrees, which means they're supplementary angles. So the sum of these two angles has to be 180 degrees. So I can use that the same way I just used it with 90 degrees, except instead of being adding together to 90, it's going to add together to be 180. So 3x plus 20 plus x equals 180 degrees. Now, again, I'm going to combine like terms. This time I have 3 xylophones plus another xylophone is 4 xylophones. Okay. Now that you got into this point, the opposite of adding, because again, we're going to solve this two-step equation, is to subtract. That gives me 160. So 4 times mystery number is 160. I divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So I'm left with just the variable, which is what I want. 160 divided by 4 is 40. So my mystery number is 40. If I wanted to go back and find the angle degree measures, I would replace x. Well, this one is just straight 40. So that's a 40-degree angle. 3 times 40 plus 20. 3 times 40 is 120, plus 20 more is 140. And if you do 140 plus 40, you will see that you get 180 degrees, which means that I did the problem correctly. It adds up. This is supposed to be 180 degrees. I know it's supposed to be 180 degrees, and I was able to calculate that. So again, when you have a straight line like this is 180 degrees, so I knew that it was going to be supplementary and that the sum of these two angles would have to be 180 degrees. Okay, so let's take a look at one more example. So for this example, I have vertical angles. Remember that when you have two lines intersecting like this, okay, they go straight through, that this angle and this angle have to be the same measure. So I can use that information in order to find the missing number. Okay, there's actually more than one way to do this problem, but this is probably the simplest. Okay, so in this case, instead of having it equal 90 or equal 180 and adding them together, I'm making them equal to each other because vertical angles, the opposite angles when two lines intersect, are going to be the same measure. So now I have a basic two-step equation. So there's nothing to combine. I'm just going to start solving. So the opposite of adding 70 is subtracting 70 from both sides. Okay, this gives me 50. I bring down what's left. 2 times mystery number gives me 50. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. So x is all by itself, just like I want it to. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Okay, so again, I found what x is. I don't have an x in this one. So for here, if I want to substitute it in and see if it's correct, I would do 2 times 25 plus 70. That would be 50 plus 70, which is 120 degrees. So this angle is equal to this angle. So I did the problem correctly. Okay, I hope this helps. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.